easiest technique for doing eyeshadow. And this works if you have hooded eyes, deep set eyes, mature eyes, or you're 20 and your eyes look like utter perfection. I have hooded eyes, which means that this skin, so you'll see like this crease is hidden by this skin. They're also deep set, which means my brow bone is heavier and comes forward. So, with that, the issues that I typically have when it comes to eyeshadow is seeing my eyeshadow when I'm looking forward, right? Because if I only put my eyeshadow in the crease and that hood covers it, I can't see nothing but this little part of the lid. So we're gonna do a full face of makeup today. We're gonna start with eyes. I have put together very soft, beginner friendly eyeshadow swatches. I've already swatched them and labeled them. They will be on all of my socials, so you will be able to see everything that's in this palette. These right here are carving shades. These right here are lid shades, endless combinations. But if you are somebody that likes a really beginner friendly or a soft eye look, you are just an everyday going to the store, going to work, you want nothing fancy, but you want it to look pretty, those are the shades for you. So they're very soft, very natural. And that's what we're going to do today first. I'm going to start with a little lip plumper, as we always do. As you guys jump on, feel free to say hello. Let me know where you're from. If you are jumping on the replay, let me know what is your weather right now? Because I am in the Midwest. We have had snow. It has been awful. And guess what? Today we are 60. The sun is out, and I don't even know what to do with myself. My dog and I went for a run this morning, and I hope it doesn't change. I want it to be like this for the rest of my life. Like maybe I was meant to live in San Diego. So, though we're going to start with the eyes today, I did do a little bit of the Plush Prep Mist just to get the skin hydrated and glowing. It has hyaluronic acid in it, it has caffeine. I did my skincare already this morning. It's like 1:30 here, so that was quite some time ago. This will refresh everything. It helps tone down redness and again, plumps and hydrates. I'm going to lift up my brows because I want to be able to see as much lid space as possible. And I have wily brows. So we lift them, we fluff them out to the side, and we are good to go. Let's talk about using our highlights to prime the eye color wise. Now, I should put on, let me see if I can open this drawer. Here we go. I should put on an eye primer, regardless of whether or not I'm using my Saint highlight shades or not. So typically, the products that I use on my eyes are both going to prime the eye, which means it's going to help with longevity, but they also have color correcting qualities in them. So it's a bit of a one and done for me. Some people like to use their palette to their max capacity. And if that is you, grab yourself. I will link everything, by the way, guys. Literally everything that I could possibly link from this video, but it won't be linked until after the replay goes up. So if you're looking for anything and you're like, what did she use? If I forget to say the name of something, I will have it all linked for you. So everything I use, I should put over here to the side. But I'm going to give that just a second to dry down, just a tinge. What are we getting into this weekend? We have sports per the usual. We are a very in it sports family right now. So I have a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old, and I am in my sports mom era, you guys. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to take the small end of the blend brush and I'm going to use my color correcting shade. So I did use a little bit of eye primer for longevity. And now I'm just going to color correct my eyelids. And this is what you're going to do before you start your eyeshadow application, especially when you're using soft shades. If you've ever wondered why you can't see your eyeshadow shades like to the, I guess, expected maybe depth. So like you look at it and it looks like it's going to be like this really rich shade, and then you put it on your eyes and it looks like it's just a little bit more faded. Like one, you may need to build up the color. It may be a more sheer formulation, but also if we don't remove the discoloration from our eyelids, then the blue and purple is like pushing through. So especially when you're using those light shades on the eye, there's a little trick for you. So now that I've color corrected, which means toned down the blue and the purple, I'm going to take my main highlight shade. I'm just going to press this right on top. And this is going to bring this more back to my skin tone. So we're going to look a little warmer over here because we need that warmth to color correct. And now I'm going to press on my main highlight shade. You could just use a concealer. You could use your like MAC paint pot, the Makeup by Mario ones that you've seen me use a million times. Any of those will work. But for those of you that like to maximize your palette, This is how you can do it. Now, it's a cream, right? The cream itself is not going to set down. I don't want it to be tacky. So I need to generously take my setting powder and set that down. And you'll see it also helps bring that to a really nice neutral base. It will also give me a really nice blend. So if you're trying to blend your eyeshadows on something that is tacky or hasn't dried, so even like the Makeup by Mario soft sculpts, or any of them really, if they haven't dried, they're just going to stick to the pigment. I always like to powder mine, like irregardless of what I use, because I like it to blend as easy as possible. Because even like right now, you can see like how my skin kind of gathers in certain areas. So the least amount of work I have to do to blend, the better. Okay. What did I use? Set it over here so I don't forget to link it. Now, again, this is the eyeshadow palette that I put together just to show you. We have carving shades, mid-tone matte, the same way you would contour and carve the face. And then we have these soft shades. These are going to be our lid shades. You could do matte, you could do shimmer. It is literally a matter of your preference. But when it comes to these mid-tone carve out shades, I like and I recommend that they be matte if you have a hooded eye, because if you put a shimmer up onto this part of your eye, shimmer reflects light. We put it on the lid because we want our lid to pop forward. If we put it on our hood is going to pop forward and look more heavy, and we don't want that. So that is just a little trick of the trade for you. So the brush that I'm going to use today is awesome for hooded eyes, okay? Saint has so many different brushes. The eyeshadow brush works great, but in particular, my favorite brush that I can use for my entire eye is the bright brush. And I want to show you it's because it's fluffy and it's tapered, meaning it comes up to this tip here, but also kind of slopes on the side, because what it's going to allow me to do is not only place it where I want, but when I then close my eye, this side that's tapered down, it's going to get both the hood and the crease at the same time, just making it easier to blend. So we're doing easy peasy today. So I'm going to go for something a little bit more warm, and I'm going to go with Bubba. Hold your brush at the end. If you hold it here and you put it on the eye, it's going to jam the pigment and release a lot of pigment just due to the force. So we want to be like light and fluffy and airy. And even with our shaky hand, that's going to work just fine. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a little bit here on the top. Take off the excess by tapping it here again to control the amount. Now, what I want you to do is look forward. If you have a hooded eye, if you have a deep set eye, if you feel like you cannot see your eyeshadow, look forward first. And I know it feels high. Trust me when I do this, okay? You want to tap it onto that visible part of the hood first, about. So if we angle this here, nose to the outer part of this peak of the brow, tap it right there. Now from there, we're going to keep it really simple. And I'm just going to go back and forth. If I'm looking straight forward, I can see that soft, warm shade on the eye when my eye is open. So now I'm going to be able to see my eyeshadow when my eye is open. That is my number one hooded eye, deep set eye trick, is if I can't see it when my eye is open, when I'm applying it, you're not gonna be able to see it later. Meaning if you go like this, or you only put it in the crease, so like if you're getting it right here, and then your hood comes down over top of it, you won't be able to see it. So that's your little trick for today. I need a mirror so I'm not flipping back and forth. So I'm going to tap that bubba, and now I'm going to go up onto that outer part here, and I'm just going to kind of sweep it back and forth. You can be messy because we're going to clean up. If you do your eyeshadow first, you can always clean up that outer edge. Now, fluffy brush, just do little circles. I'm going to close my eye now to make sure that it's also getting into the crease, because it's not that I don't want it in the crease, it's that I don't only want it in the crease. And since this brush is tapered, when I hold it on this angle, it's going to get up onto the hood and into the crease all at the same time. If you want more pigment, take your brush sideways, put a little bit on your brush sideways, and then take that sideways part, little circles, and we are building it up. So now we have the shade that we can see when we look forward. And I'm going to do that same shade. I'm tapping it on the side of the brush, tapping off the excess. I'm going to close my eye, and I'm going to do it in this V right here. So now I'm getting it onto the outer third of the lid just by pressing it. And now we're doing little circles to blend it and making sure it's blended up. This is two shades eye look for today. Super easy. Okay. Let me show you. Tapping on the side of the brush, tap off the excess, hold it low, press out here. Now, little circles. I want a little more. Tap, tap, tap. Little circles. A good eyeshadow look is all about the blend. So that is shade one, which is Bubba. For those of you that like to build your custom eyeshadow palette, you guys, these are all magnetized tins. So every eyeshadow is your choice. You're not buying a preset palette. Everything you do, you can customize to you. I'm gonna add a little bit more just for you guys so you can see it in the camera. Color doesn't always transfer well without me building it up a little bit for you. And there we go. So we've gotten up onto the hood, into the crease, into the outer corner, and now you can choose. Do you want something to be a little bit more contrasting, or do you want something to be really similar? Like this shade right here is Crush. This would be really similar. They would kind of blend together. It would just be a shimmer that you'd get a little bit more pop from. If you want something that's going to be a little champagne-y, you have different choices like that. So you can kind of decide, do you want to go with something that's purple? Orange and purple are opposite one another on the color wheel, which means they're going to create this beautiful like pop against one another. The world is your oyster. I'm going to take that same brush and I'm going to actually go into a matte. This right here, let me wipe off the tip of this here. This right here is called Stay Golden. And I'm going to get some on the brush, tap it off, and all I'm going to do is sweep that shade across the lid. And this could be your everyday, super easy two shade eyeshadow look. It's going to be a little bit of deviation, but they're both warm. They blend into each other really nicely. Make sure the blend is there. No, we don't want any harsh edges, and we could be done. What I'm going to do, just because I'm a little bit extra and you can be too, is I'm going to take this shade Drift here, which just has a little shimmer. And because I want my eye to pop forward, I am literally just going to press a little bit of that onto that lid. So that's why we don't put the shimmer on the hood, because we don't want that hood to pop forward. But we can put this right on the ball of the eye and just create the illusion that our lid is bigger and it pops forward. You can flip that brush over, also take some of that drift and press it onto the tear duct here. And then you can even go under the brow. Now, here's a little trick for you. If you're ever doing your eyeshadow and you feel like this edge right here is too harsh, go into your setting powder, tap off the excess, and blend out that edge. We're just going to blur it a little bit. We're just going to soften it just a little bit. And that's perfect. Now I'm going to make sure that my brows are still up. I'm going to set them, fill them in, and then I will come back and I will do a little bit under the brow. And I am going to use a little eyeshadow underneath my eyes as well, but I want to make sure I get my face on first. So the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take Brownie and I'm going to give myself the smallest little definition out here on the outer corner. You can take your favorite eyeliner, doesn't matter what it is. Brownie just happens to be like that very neutral, warm brown. So I thought it would look pretty with this look. And I'm going to literally smudge that just onto that outer portion of the eye on both sides. Brownie is one of our, oh my gosh, I get the names back and forth, is one of our satin shades, which means you have a little bit more blend time with it. So I'm doing like maybe the outer fourth here. All I'm doing with that, as opposed to lining the whole eye, is I just kind of want my eye lashes to look a little more full. So to do that, I'm going to smudge just a little bit of an eyeliner. It's going to be very soft, bringing it kind of out. You may not even see it on camera, but I can, oh wait, but I can see it here. And it's just going to give me the illusion of a little more definition and a little bit of a fuller lash line. But smudging it is key. You don't want like just one little like third of a harsh line there. It's like a barely there sort of deal. But it does make a difference, especially like when you get all up close and personal. So let's go ahead and curl those lashes. So what's going on? How's everybody's week been? I feel like we finally got through everybody in our house having some sort of, I don't want to say even sickness, but like cough, cold, like whatever it is, and it's back. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm like, why can I not escape it? And maybe it's because the temperature has deviated about 60 degrees in the last, I don't know, week, but I'm not complaining at all. The warmer, the better. I'm here for it. I'm gonna grab, this is Quadra. This is my lash growth mascara serum. You guys, if you are a very simple eyelash girl, this has two wands on it. You can do everything you would ever want to do with a mascara because this is a mascara, but it has your lash growth serum built into it and it doesn't have prostaglandins. If you've ever seen anybody put a lash serum along their eyelash line, if you've noticed that the eyelash line looks like purple or blue, that is likely due to prostaglandins. They are known to kind of affect the coloring of the skin. And for some people, their actual eye color. Like some people have very, very bad reactions to it. So this is also a tubing mascara, which means it's going to come off with warm water in little tubes. So it's very friendly to mature eyes. It's water resistant, but not waterproof. And this is what I typically do as my first step when I'm putting my mascara on. I like using multiple mascaras. I like using multiple brushes. I feel like I can use mul- I can use multiple brushes quickly and like hit more lashes than if I'm using one kind and having to go really slow. Because I don't know about you, but mascara might be my least favorite thing on the planet to do. It will take me as long to do my mascara, and then Saints tubing mascara. It'll take me as long to do my mascara as it does everything else, and I don't like it. I have finicky lashes, especially on this side. I feel like maybe I sleep on this side. And like sometimes they stick straight up. So that lash growth serum helps tremendously. I've been using it for, I don't know, maybe 2 years now. And I've seen significant growth. They don't fall out as easy. They're not as brittle. It's a really nice product. And like I said, it is a tubing mascara. So a lot of my clients, that's just all they use. And you'll notice the price reflects that it has the serum in it. But most serums on the market are like 70 to $100, and then you still use mascara. I think that one's 50 bucks. It ships free, and I think there's 10% off on it. And it can absolutely be your mascara and your serum, but you need to use it every day to see results, just like any skincare product. So how easy is that? Two shades and we have a whole eyelet going. Well, three, I guess, if you include me cheating and adding a little pop of color to the lid and then a little brownie on the outside. Let's go ahead and use our Saint Brow Wax. I'm gonna activate it. You have to activate it. It's like a brow soap. It doesn't feel like anything until you activate it, and then you can lift and hold your brows with it. And we'll add a little color here once I do my face. And I'm gonna use the majority of Saint, but I am gonna show you guys the Maxine's Revenge Concealer. I want to make sure that if you're on my channel and I'm talking about something, that you don't just hear about it one time. So if you're making a decision as to whether or not it's a product that you're interested in, then you want to know how it performs over time. And I have really been liking it for concealer. So Maxine's Revenge, if you didn't see my video, is a concept. It was created by somebody from the makeup industry. She's been in the makeup industry for over 40 years, works with really credible brands, but she created her own system here. And these are essentially face and eye concealers. So you can use it all over the face to brighten as concealer, as your main highlight, or as your main foundation. And then you can even bronze with them. They sent those to me a long time ago, and I didn't use them for quite a while because I forgot, if I'm being honest. Um, and I didn't get the right shades. So what, oh geez, I just told you I was going to use that under the eye because I wanted to show you. So I did find the shade that works amazing for dark under eyes, but I need to go back and purchase the shades for the face that I need if I indeed want to do that. But I have found it to be a very nice product to pair with any other foundation, skin tint, or even your Saint if you're somebody who prefers to use a concealer because you don't want to learn like under eye color correction and you have mature under eyes. I am always running like my product performance through the lens of needing to color correct, but still wanting my skin to look like skin, even though I have not only quite a bit of discoloration, as you can see, my skin is very agitated today, but also I have mature skin. I have smile lines, dark under eyes. You know the drill. So I did just color correct a little bit with my Saint highlight. And I'm going to grab my main highlight shade and I'm going to just now I'm going to press a little bit of this on. I didn't really color correct any of those acne spots today because we're just going for fresh. I just want to feel fresh today. I have sporting events tonight. I still need to go to the grocery store. May be able to pull off some dinner with my husband and daughter while my son's at baseball. So I thought, let's just get ready. Just my main highlight shade on top of my color corrected cheeks, nose, chin. And we're going to keep it light coverage. Nothing fancy. Now, this is where the concealer is going to come in. So if you're somebody who wants to pair your Saint with a concealer, as opposed to learning under eye color correction, the reason that I really am liking so this one's called Fair Peach. Peach has the color correction quality that I'm looking for my under eyes. So the way that I've been using it is I don't go all the way up under the eyes because it's super textured there. So like I'm gonna do like a dot here and a dot here. I'm gonna do a little bit here, and you can use any concealer of your choice. It all works. Oh gosh, it all works the same. I just think this one happens to be a really nice one for mature skin. And now I'm going to let it sit for a minute. If I go in right now, and I've tried this multiple ways, and it's pretty much the same with any concealer you use. If you go in, I should say a serum based concealer. If you go in right now and you start sweeping it all over, you're going to get very light coverage and it's going to kind of sheer out, which you can totally do. If you wait a minute and you let it start to set down a little bit and then you blend it, then you're going to notice that you get a little bit more coverage because you have a little bit more staying power. It's already started, it's kind of dry down, if you will. So while I give that a second, let's go into, I'm going to do Bella Bronzer and Glow Illuminator just mixed. To match our eyes, we're going to do some warmth in the face. I'm not going to contour today. I'm just going to use a little bit of Bella and Glow to add some life into my skin. Tap, tap. And I'm just pressing in the normal places that I would get tan, like first. Except the nose. I'm not a bronze across my nose girl. Are you guys? I don't do a lot of blush across my nose. I don't do a lot of bronzer across my nose because it's already so red to begin with that I'm like, ugh. Sometimes, sometimes I feel like it is just not my favorite thing. But to each their own. All right. Let's bring a little down the neck. Make sure everything's matching good. Oh, I feel so much better already. I'm not, I can't even lie to you. Guys, I was feeling rough this morning. Like rough. Okay. I'm gonna take the A506 brush. This is from the Angie Hot and Flashy line from BK Beauty. It has that tapered edge to it. It's like the kitten paw one that went viral. Again, I'll link it. They have it on Amazon. Now what I'm going to do instead of sweeping is I'm really going to start pressing along the side of the nose and to that under eye. And then I'm going to work my way up from there so that when I get to the under eye, it's like the least amount of product possible. And you'll see just from like this correction here to this here, the difference that it makes. And I would describe this as like medium coverage at the most. I find it to be more light to medium. That is my preference. But if you're looking for something that's full coverage, this is probably not for you. It's also definitely better for dry and mature skin than somebody who has like oily skin and wants full coverage. Now, it works with oily skin. You're just going to set it down. But if you want full coverage, this ain't it. Go into these smile lines. And I did do just a little bit here on the side of the nose to create like the appearance of a slimmer nose. And I do like to brighten a little bit the center of my face. So just like we put a little bit of a brightener on the lid, brighten down the center of the nose, center of the face. And now you can see the difference between this side with the Maxine's Revenge concealer, which did color correct and brighten. I did go obviously a couple shades lighter. I'm not fair, and that was Fair Peach. Peach has the brightening, or excuse me, Fair is the brightening quality, Peach is the color correction quality. But it makes a huge difference to let it set down a little bit. If you want very light coverage, you can go in right away after you apply it, and you will get light coverage. It'll still look beautiful. It's just two different ways, depending on what your color correction and brightness desires are. So I think it's great for under eye concealing for a mature under eye. I can't speak to how I feel about it all over the face yet because honestly, I don't have the right shades. So I've tried it numerous times and I feel like the finish of it is pretty, but I'm not getting good longevity. And that's probably because everything's too light. When things are too light, your makeup's going to break up. And there we go. I mean, it sits beautifully on the skin. I'm gonna take my, I'm gonna go back to my blush and bronzer brush, and I'm just gonna kind of marry this line together. I didn't add any bronzer, but I don't want any distinct lines on the face. So I'm just going back in right there. Yay! You guys, the Sochi blush is finally back from our barely, what, beige blush video. Bare Muse is back. I'm telling you, it's so good. And it's a cream to powder. It's so lovely. So you get the benefits of a cream, but it dries down like a powder, so it blurs. Ah! I want things that are gonna sit well on mature skin, but I want options. My skin, blah, 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 blah. Did you get that? My skin's still gonna glow. My base is glowy. My under eyes are a serum. So this isn't gonna look dry, but this is my favorite Barely There blush that I've been wearing literally since I got it, which was well before I did that video. And I feel like it never even like I just keep using it and it's like all still there. But I love it. Okay, if you're somebody who wants to powder for the purposes of longevity or you want to keep like creasing or whatnot, at a minimum, this is when I would go ahead and powder. So everything's on. Let's grab, I'm going to do a soft powder. So I'm not going to grab a fluffy or I'm not going to grab a powder puff because I want it to be really soft. I get really nice like under eye coverage and I don't get creasing or anything with that thin layer of Maxine's Revenge. But if you want to set it, take something like the fluffy end of the blend brush, tap it, and then press it into the areas that you want to minimize creasing or you want to mattify. And this does a nice job. And it will increase your longevity if you powder. Now I do want to remove a little bit of that glow though. So you see, we're just, this is the T-zone is my sweaty area. So I do want to kind of reduce that glow a little bit. You know what I think I'm going to do next is I'm going to wipe off my lips because I'm going to use my Summer Fridays lip stain in almond. And in order to get the best longevity with any sort of those liquid lip liners that stain, your lips need to be, they need to have nothing on them and they really need to be dry. So this is the shade Almond. Talk about the everyday shade. Hopefully it comes back in stock soon. If it is, I'll link it today. But it's so nice to just create a lip line. Super easy to work with. I've used it to like fill in my lips a little bit too. Just like the staying power because I drink a lot of coffee, I talk a lot. I wear like something on my lips all day long. There we go. So I'm gonna let that do its thing for a minute and I'm gonna finish my eyebrows. So I already set them down. I'm gonna go in, what do we wanna use today? How about somebody was asking me about brow shades that I like from Saint. You can use eyeshadows, but one of the colors that I like for my brows personally from the pencil line is cappuccino. So it is a cooler tone. Anything too warm on my brows just kind of looks silly because of my overall like complexion in my brows. They're so much grayer than everything else. So I'm literally just going to do a very slight fill in with cappuccino. Now, this isn't something that I would draw brow strokes on with personally because the tip is not precise enough. But if you want just a little bit of color in your brows, these are a great option. Now, from there, I'm going to go back to my spoolie and kind of just disperse that product and make sure that my brows are still holding. Then we're good. So now I can finish off my eye makeup, going back to the bright brush, small end, back to drift. I'm gonna go underneath the brow now that my brows are done. Ooh, wrong shade. Now that my under eyes are set and powdered and all the things, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna duplicate the Bubba small end of the brush. I need a smaller mirror. This is definitely not the best one because it's angled, but this is what's in front of me. And I'm going to carve out the bottom of my eye with, instead of using eyeliner, I'm going to do the outer half with that Bubba, just creating a little bit of a halo. It will also help set the under eye, keep your mascara from going underneath your eye, but it will define that eye a little bit. We have an upper lid and a lower lid. Don't forget about your lower lid. Now I'm going to go into Stay Golden, which was the lid shade, and pop it right here. I'm just doing this very soft. And then if you like, you can add a little bit. You guys, we have this awesome like little fan brush here. You can take your mascara. If you've been afraid to put like mascara underneath on your bottom lashes, well, one, use a tubing mascara, but also you can just fan brush on the smallest amount and it won't look spidery. Just for a little extra something, something. There we go. Now, on top of that, Summer Fridays, I'm going to use one of my tried and true formulas. It's Lawless. They came out with a new color. It's called Blush Sand. If you told me, like, if you asked me what is the absolute best lip product for mature lips, but you got to remember this is going to be like a lip look. From a shiny standpoint, I'm going Lawless. They are, they call them Forget the Filler smoothing lip plumpers. I do not, first of all, they have no tingle whatsoever. I don't find them to be the biggest plumper, but they are the smoothest. Like you will have such a smooth, juicy looking lip. I think I have every shade, and this is their newest one. So it's just a perfect, like juicy, soft lip. They are slightly scented, like there's a little bit of a sweetness to them, but for something that actually smooths the lips, it doesn't turn it colors. It's not gonna hurt your lips. There's no like capsaicin, there's no mint, there's no any of that. So that's it, you guys. Oh boy. I'm gonna post this when I get all the links ready. I'm just gonna go ahead and set my face with the Dibs setting spray. This one has film formers, which you need for longevity. Saints has like hydrating qualities in it. It has like glycerin and aloe and things that are going to help melt your makeup, but it won't set your makeup. This one will melt and it will set. And I love that the cap like actually pops on. So when I travel, it doesn't fall off. But that's it, you guys. What do you guys think of our look? If you need the swatches, again, all of my channels will be linked below. You will find them on the channels, but you can also just email me. I'll put my email in the description box below, and I have all of these swatch. So if you're trying to build some pairings or just a very soft kind of palette of eyeshadow colors that work for the everyday girly, that's them. I hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you again soon. Bye bye.